Welcome back, everybody. We are back with another Working Brother Talks. It is the Working Brother coming back at you. This time we've got Dragoljub back with us. Welcome back, Drago. How are you doing?
Thank you. Great being here again.
It's excellent to have you back. You've got some very current topics lined up for us. To remind everyone, Drago is an independent geopolitical and military analyst. And he often writes for BRICS, is that what it's called?
Yeah, InfoBricks or just
InfoBricks. There you go, yeah. InfoBricks. All right, let's get rid of this music and get this slide behind you. We've got your article about Russia's hypersonic response. There was talk recently that Russia hit a bunker with some hypersonic missiles.
Yep.
You want to tell us about
several, it? Yeah, they hit several. They used 6 Kinzhal hypersonic missiles, air-launched hypersonic missiles to be exact.
Mm-hmm.
They were fired by the MiG-31K or MiG-31I, depending on the variant.
Mm-hmm.
Those are 2 variants. You can fire them, and I mean it's not exactly clear which of the 2 variants they've used, but those 2 can carry the Kinzhals, and they actually fired 6 of them, and they hit one of the command centers, command and control centers of NATO in Ukraine, on the Ukrainian territory. And as far as I know, that area is very close to the Polish border, and apparently this command center was 80 meters underground, and the Kinzhal basically kinetically penetrated earth or the ground, and then it penetrated bunker protection and killed a bunch of NATO officers in the bunker itself.
And why is this significant? Like, for people who don't know what this means, why is hypersonic missile important?
Well, hypersonic missiles basically change the doctrine of warfare that has been used so far, because they can basically you can't shoot them down, because it's not just the sheer speed, it's the ability of hypersonic missiles to maneuver in every stage of flight.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, if in the cases of air defenses like the Patriot, which the NATO uses extensively, their computers, the air defense computers, what they do is they calculate the ballistic pathway of the missile that's fired.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, these hypersonic missiles are not just classical or regular ballistic missiles. They can maneuver. On the other hand, ballistic missiles cannot. So you can actually predict, you can calculate the path of the ballistic missiles, but you cannot do the same for hypersonic missiles, which makes them essentially, invulnerable to interception. And also the speed, the sheer speed of these hypersonic missiles means that you can kinetically destroy targets, so you don't even need an explosive to use them.
So, am I correct in my understanding? Sorry, I think we had a little bit of lag there. Am I correct in my understanding that Russia is the only one who fields, the only country that fields hypersonic missile currently?
Yeah, like extensively. The Chinese have them too, but like they still don't have too many of them, and they lag behind Russia maybe like 3 to 5 years at most at the moment. On the other hand, the U.S. doesn't have any operational hypersonic missiles. I mean, strike hypersonic missiles. So yeah, Russia is currently leading the field.
Okay, and I'm guessing this came as a surprise to NATO. The fact that
they enjoy their self-delusion of grandeur, and complete technological superiority over Russia.
All right. The next topic that we're gonna lined up here is Washington, D.C. warmongers keep threatening Mexico. Let me put that on screen. There we go. What is this about? I actually had no idea about this until you sent me the link.
Yeah, it's essentially like maybe like last week, I'm not sure exactly, 4 Americans were kidnapped by one of the Mexican cartels, and 2 of them were killed. So the United States and Mexico, they work closely to like combat these cartels, And some of these warmongers, in Washington D.C., they were furious at Mexico because this happened. I mean, the point is Mexico didn't do this; cartels did. So, I mean, thousands of Mexican police officers and soldiers actually die, every year fighting these cartels. So,
Mm-hmm.
so it's ludicrous to blame Mexico for this. And what happened is that some of these, specifically Lindsey Graham, one of the architects of the Ukraine war, he's a Republican from South Carolina, and
Yeah.
he threatened Mexico to essentially bomb, like these areas controlled by the cartels.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, like Mexico is actually working very closely with the U.S. to fight these cartels, and the Mexican police actually the Mexican government actually allows American law enforcement to enter Mexico and basically run operations there
Yeah.
freely. So Mexico is like they couldn't possibly cooperate closer with the U.S. Like they're letting their police officers enter. I mean, I don't know what else
Mm-hmm.
they have to do. uh, that in itself is a violation of Mexican sovereignty, but still they're doing it, and
Yeah.
not even that isn't for Washington D.C. It's just crazy, and some of them kept threatening Mexico, and they even tried to sponsor a bill in the U.S. Congress which would allow the use of U.S. military against targets in Mexico.
Mm-hmm. That is a little insane.
Yeah,
I had no,
yeah,
I had no idea that was happening. Honestly.
yeah, I mean, people can look it up. They've been talking about it for a couple of days already, maybe
Mm-hmm.
a week or longer. I'm not sure exactly, but the thing is, like, I mean, I don't know how this is helping, the Mexicans or the Americans. But the thing is, these insane people in the U.S. Congress, or should I say, pacifists, they they're blaming Mexico for the drug abuse pandemic which is happening in the U.S. Uh, I really don't understand how Mexico is at fault in this case, and also like maybe they should look much closer at home because it's the CIA which has been working with these cartels and creating some of them or most of them for decades. So like it's ludicrous in every way imaginable.
I don't know where you get this Russian propaganda from. The
Yeah,
U.S. working with cartels. U.S. has never done anything in Central or Latin America, man. You're delusional.
exactly.
You're delusional. The next
So
topic.
reading too much RT.
Yeah, yeah. It must be RT and Sputnik. It's you should move to Florida, where you can't access either. Um, I'm just referencing an earlier interview we did with Soviet Bear where he was talking to like Omegle people, and somebody told him that he should run away from Russia before the oligarchs kill everyone. It was hilarious. I'll leave a link somewhere. In any case, the next topic that you've brought for us today is that the U.S. has continues to send tens of billions to Kiev. Tell us
Yeah.
about your opinion on this development.
Well, the fact that the U.S. economy is in a terrible state, and now its financial system is essentially unraveling. So it's crazy that they keep sending tens of billions of dollars of U.S. taxpayers' money to this to this democratic. Sorry, I was supposed to say democratic and highly advanced legitimate government in
Yeah,
Kiev,
that has no
which is
corruption.
yeah, there's absolutely no corruption out there, and they're very very open about how they use all the money they're getting. There's no corruption, there's no embezzlement, nothing like that. It's completely legal, 100%. So, I mean, in all seriousness, they keep sending all this money. On the other hand, the American financial system is essentially collapsing as we speak. So, I mean, these people, it's not that they don't have the interest of the Ukrainians, in mind. They don't have the interest of the American people in mind because, the banking collapse, the three large banks that have collapsed in the
Hmm.
last, like, or so. I mean, it's a testament to that. How little they have the interests of the American people in mind.
And do you know at all, is there any like possible way to find out how much actual money has been given to Ukraine? Like, do we have any like total estimate, sum? I know it's
Yeah,
more
but
than the
it's
military budget of Russia. That much I know, but
yeah,
like,
it is large. Like the amount of money they've said they will allocate to the Kiev regime is about 120 billion, 110 to 120 billion dollars,
mhm.
which is like I think it's double that of Russia's 2021 military budget. So, although not all that money has been sent, to Kiev, but much of that money has been used. It stayed in the U.S. and has been used to finance the
Buy
American
weapons.
military-industrial
Yeah.
complex, which is producing weapons for the Kiev regime. So it's a bit, crazy. They're essentially using this to enrich the already filthy rich military-industrial complex,
Hmm.
while sending at least a portion of the weapons produced in the U.S. to the Ukrainians.
Yeah. And the final topic, which is going to be a laugh and a half, is the most recent incident with the downing of U.S. drones, or
Yeah.
a drone. Tell us about what happened while I play some video of the event in the background.
Well, it seems that the Russian fighter jets passed by the U.S. MQ-9 Reaper drone,
Hmm.
if I'm not mistaken, the latest Block 5 version. And the Americans are saying that the Russian jet dumped fuel, and also it clipped one of the wings of its propeller, which caused the drone to crash. So that at least that's the official version. And also there's a video,
This
the
is
alleged video
Yeah. I'm playing
showing.
video. I'm playing video of the Russian perspective of the drone first. And then we've got a video of the US or the drone's perspective where the Russians appear to dump fuel over it on the first
Yeah,
pass, and it kind of like takes the sensor off caliber, let's put it that way, or like some transmission delay or something's going on there. And then we've got another shot, and this is apparently a second pass, and this is when it supposedly clipped the propeller of the
yeah,
airplane. Um, this was characterized as like unsafe and so on
yeah.
by the West.
Environmentally unsound. That was the funniest part for me, as far as I'm concerned.
Hmm.
Like they keep, referencing environmental protection, like and concern because because the Russians did this.
Hmm.
However, nobody's talking about the basically billions of cubic meters of natural gas, which has been released into the Baltic Sea because that pro-Ukrainian group, those vigilantes trying to destroy the
with,
Russian
with
natural gas
access
pipeline,
with access to deep diving military grade tech. Yeah, yeah.
which only a few navies have. But of course, that's definitely not the U.S. Navy. They had nothing to do with that. I
Hmm.
mean, we could say the same for the case of this drone. Maybe a pro-Russian group of Russian or pro-Russian pilots inside the Russian Air Force decided to steal or hijack these jets, and they probably went on a vigilante patrol mission
Hmm.
to shoot down this drone. Maybe that's what happened. I don't know.
I'm
Um,
I'm scrolling through
so
some memes because that day, as soon as it happened, there was like 10,000 memes of Russian jets taking down drones with shovels.
yeah, yeah. The Russians don't have ammo anymore. I mean, they're without ammo. They're without fuel. I
Hmm.
mean, it's probably they also ran out of missiles, which would explain why the Russian jet didn't fire a missile at the drone. Right?
Yeah.
Perfectly fits.
Among these screenshots that we've got here, we've got one from Metro. I don't know if that's a newspaper on like an online portal or whatever, but that reminds me to come to the Russell Brand video that we've got lined up. Okay, it's a little cropped, but nobody's gonna mind. Let's turn up the volume and let's see if we can
Mainstream
play this.
media's take, which was for some reason being hosted by Ross from Friends.
The U.S. says a Russian fighter jet collided with an unmanned American drone.
No one told you life was going to be this way. Your job's a joke, we're broke. Because, of course, the banking system is collapsing all around you.
Russian pilots harassing the drone for 30 minutes.
Harassing? Harassing is a weird word. And do you know what? The word harassing is not just being used on ABC. Numerous mainstream media news outlets are using the word harass.
Russian jets were in the vicinity of it, essentially harassing it.
They were clearly out to harass that drone.
Harass is a very person-oriented word. It requires that the drone has an emotional reality. Like the Russian fighter jets are like lascivious little sky perverts coming up to that drone. Hey, what you doing? What you doing? What you doing? Hey, can I get a smile? Can I get a smile out of you, toots?
When the Russian fighter jets rapidly approached.
Rapidly approach. It's a jet. What do you want it to do? Gingerly approach, meekly approach. You can't drive a jet slowly. It'll fall out of the sky.
Reckless aerial harassment.
Reckless aerial harassment. What was that drone even doing there? 6,000 miles from the Black Sea to the United States. That's 6,000 miles that drone travelled.
Yeah, from North America to
the Black Sea. That's 6,000 miles. Now let's see how far the Black Sea is from Russia. It's 0 miles. There's no miles.
So yeah, I think Russell Brand sums it up quite well in that little extract.
It's beyond hilarious, I think.
And there's another clip that I think everyone should see. This is how it was reported on Russian news. Let me turn the volume up so we can get the intonation of her voice as well, because it is absolutely hilarious. For everybody who doesn't speak Russian, there are subtitles.
Не применяли вооружение против дрона, который в результате резкого маневрирования утерял управление и упал в воду.
И упал в воду. And it fell in the water. That's all there is to it. It just lost control and fell.
Yeah, that's what happened, I think.
I don't know.
Because he got within the Russian Air Force, right?
And what's your take on the Russian pilot's level of skill to accomplish that?
Oh man, it's wild, because being able to do that without crashing your own jet, it's only a pro would be able to do that. So like, in all seriousness, I'm not sure like if there are any other pilots who would dare to do something like that,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely reckless. Definitely perverted. evil. Environmentally unsound.
Yeah, because it's ludicrous that the Russian pilot actually took the priority of not protecting the environment, over protecting his own country. So it's kind of crazy. I don't know why he did that, because I always choose climate, protecting the climate over my country.
Well, not only your country, yourself even. Like,
Exactly.
Climate is important. What can I say? So yeah, I think we covered the memes and the videos of that for everyone who hasn't seen that on Telegram. By the way, everybody, find the Working Brother on Telegram. Drago might be on Telegram eventually. I'll convince him to start a channel at one point. He definitely should. Drago, I know you've seen the video. You won't be able to see it now, but I'll play it in the background. It's that video of the new Chinese drone doctrine that has made the rounds yesterday or today or something. What is your take on this new idea of drone warfare that is all machinery and no people?
Yeah, so the point is, it's what we call the new age of network-centric warfare. So It's not just about having drones, it's about having the ability to control all of them at the same time, and also like having, being able to process this massive amount of battlefield information and use the drones accordingly. Not firing like 3 drones at one target, like being able to prioritize and, So essentially, this is the future of warfare. And the Chinese are probably, the top player in this case, because they're able to, they have the level of technology needed to create such network-centric systems, but also the necessary production facilities to actually mass production facilities to outproduce basically the rest of the world, in terms of these systems. So I think that they're going to dominate the battlefields of the future if they continue, with such developments. And also they will be able to outproduce almost basically the entire world combined, I would say, because the production facilities are crucial in being able to, implement such systems, weapons systems. And also having the ability to produce all this in one place or in the same country, essentially. On the other hand, the U.S. has a lot of problems because of that, because because their production facilities have been outsourced all around the globe. So being able to maintain the supply lines necessary to produce a large quantity of such drones is going to be a nightmare for the U.S. military, because they would have to pull back all these outsourced facilities back into the U.S. But they can't do that because, the labor costs in America are extremely high, and it's going to make it impossible for America to match China in terms of production of these drones. So essentially, it's like a return to industrial warfare, which the U.S. thought is gone, but it actually was not gone. It's always here, and it's going to stay here, for the foreseeable future, I would say.
And now, off-the-cuff question. What do you see happening on the ground in the next couple of weeks? What happened to that, massing of Russian troops and the huge offensive that was supposed to happen, or that the West was predicting would happen any day now, even during Putin's speech, but then nothing happened? What's your take on that issue?
Well, I think it would be quite unwise, from the Russians to, announce a big offensive and actually do it, because it would give the enemy the opportunity to prepare, for that. So I guess they're trying to maintain at least some element of surprise in this case. And they're trying to, they're probably trying to get the Ukrainians to let their guards down, and then conduct the operation, if that is indeed what they're trying to do. I mean, essentially, we don't really know if that's what they're trying to do. And it's supposed to be like that because militaries are trying to maintain their strategic secrecy, and the Russians are doing just that. So I'm not sure when we could expect this offensive, but I would say that we can expect it in the most unexpected moment, when we essentially start forgetting about the fact that they are planning a large offensive. So that's my take on it.
All right. Drago, expect the unexpected. That is the summary of today's show. All right, everyone. Thank you for stopping by. Drago, thank you for hanging out. It was a good talk. We will see you again soon. Take it out with some music. Everyone, have fun. See you later.